and for most businesses to have that capacity to flex their capability. Now, if you talk about a contingent worker who's appropriately onboarded for an assignment, that assignment comes to an end and you want to bring the engagement to an end, that's really how it ought to go. And that's how it goes 90 out of 100 times. Now, I think that the keys is to have proper visibility of everyone at the start of the relationship. You then monitor the relationship. I think you mentioned in your question, Paul, that maybe the assignment changed in the course of it. Let's use that as a hypothetical because it's a good one. Sometimes assignments do change, but that doesn't mean that the fundamental character of the contingent work arrangement has changed. But it ought to be updated. There might be a mechanism under the contractual terms to have a variation, a new schedule which is executed, which reminds people of how it might be able to be terminated. So that's your middle piece of managing it. And then when you come to the end piece, that should be pretty straightforward. Now, it's more straightforward if it's been 6 months or 9 months or for a very defined project compared to if it's been 8 years or 10 years or something like that. But I think provided that you manage all of those parts properly, then you shouldn't go into every termination of a contingent labour engagement thinking that you're on absolute redlining risk.
Can I say to this? Be really careful about engaging one-dimensional contingent labour suppliers. Okay, it's just not possible anymore. So be really careful. I'm going to go back to this point that there are an increasing number of suppliers out there who think that this can all be done on a platform without any humans involved. It's bullshit. Okay, because humans change, projects change, contracts change, the way in which we work change. The way in which we're treated gets changed. So you've got to actually have a provider that is multi-dimensional and actually knows when things need to be responded in a different way. It's just like good human resource management, good procurement management, good general management. This idea that there's one homogenous worker who starts and continues to work, it's bullshit. Okay? So if you don't work with a highly sophisticated supplier who can actually change and do their bloody job, and their job is to employ and to engage and to manage, okay, and not set and forget, then you're going to continue to find problems, in my view, as we see litigation and the confidence, the nudging towards litigation continue to increase. So work with a provider that is genuinely knows what they're doing and how they can adapt. So again, we developed a program called StaffSure. So if you want to look at staffsure.org, it's basically to go out there and assess suppliers against 6 key criteria. Fit and proper people, fair work, immigration, work health and safety, financial assurances. That's just a starting point to make sure that they're not selling you a pup. The reality is that if you're going to go out there and use these one-dimensional sort of whiz-bang, we're better than the agency because we charge half the rate. There's a reason they're charging half the rate, because they don't have and they're not investing in the people in the organisation that can actually keep you out of jail. So I'm going to be really, if I've not already been outspoken on that point.